4 student chefs, and 3 baskets of the unknown. These Lenawee County standouts have to cook their way through them to impress these judges. Who will earn the title of Minced Champion?
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Heidbrader, your host.
Our first student chef is Zachary Armstrong.
I think it's a physical, mental challenge of your ability to cook, and it's just pushing myself to the limit which I want to take.
He's a junior at Hudson High School, and he thinks he can chop up this competition.
Anything with poultry or pork is where I reside. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna win, but I'm gonna say I'm gonna bring my all. I'm gonna try as hard as I can to win.
He doesn't know the meaning of the word nervous. He says he can put up a good fight, and working under pressure is his middle name.
I don't hold nothing back, and if there's something you can experiment with, you can go out on a wild limb, I'm gonna take it.
Chef number 2, Tyler Anderson.
My grandma's worked for the Daily Bread for the past 6 years, feeding the homeless, and I've always volunteered helping her cook there. So it's just become my passion.
He's a junior at Sand Creek High School, and he says he can beat this competition.
What makes me a good chef is that I can literally take anything in the kitchen and make it into something else. I could literally take macaroni and make it into a dessert.
He's a confident musician, and he's also confident in the kitchen. Can he transfer his musical talents into the kitchen and win over our judges?
I'm gonna win this.
Our third chef is Nick Coates, a junior at Onstead High School.
I grew up around cooking. I've always wanted to be in the restaurant industry. Right now I'm a waiter and I cook and pretty much everything in a restaurant.
This soccer player says he's going to score a goal this year. There will be no penalty for this flatterer.
What inspired me to start cooking was my grandfather. Every weekend when I was a child, I'd go over there. He'd always have a cookout. I'd always help him out cooking and everything. And a couple years ago he passed, and so I've always just kind of stuck with it.
He thinks his wildcat-like reflexes will finesse the win.
I do believe I have what it takes to win because I believe I have a leg up on the competition, and I believe I'm just better than all of them.
Last but not least, our fourth chef, Corey Marion.
I want to be in this competition because my family has always been around cooking, and I want to prove to them that I can not only bring to the actual table, but to the table of competition.
She was a competitor last year, but missed her chance at a victory in the first round.
Chef Corey, you have been minced.
I know it wasn't exactly my fault, but it was my fault, so you learn from it, you move on. It's just art made out of food.
She knows how this game goes and has an upper hand at winning this year. Could she be this year's comeback kid, or will her victory go up in smoke?
This year, I definitely am totally confident about it.
Welcome chefs, and here are the rules.
There are 3 rounds: appetizer, entree, and dessert. Each course has a basket of mystery ingredients, and you must use every ingredient in some way. The pantry and fridge are also fair game. Each round is timed, and when we are done, the judges critique your dishes. If you don't make the cut, you will be minced.
Corey, she's kind of the mean girl, I guess, in the picture. She kind of really takes charge. Sometimes kind of cracks under pressure a little bit.
Tyler, I know he's a child, and their children shouldn't be in kitchens.
Chefs, are you ready? Open those baskets. In this appetizer round, you must use brats, ramen noodles, chili without beans, arugula, and sun-dried tomatoes.
I was happy to see ramen because it's an easy thing to use and incorporate.
Chefs, you have 20 minutes on the clock, and your time starts now.
Initially, I wanted to know how Tyler knew there were going to be brats, because he looked at me before the competition started and said, "Do you know how to temp a brat?" And I was like, "Not going to use brats." And then the second it started, I was like, "Oh my God, this is rigged." But then I was like, never mind. Tyler wouldn't know that. He doesn't know anything.
So I first made the ramen, and I cooked it in sun-dried tomato, and I got some spices. I got paprika, I got garlic salt, and I cooked it all together to infuse into the noodles.
First was I put the bratwurst in a pan.
and incorporated the chili in with it almost right away. And then after that, I put the sun-dried tomatoes in with it and kind of mixed it all together so it would kind of cool it down as well as cook everything really quick. And then I put a little bit of the arugula in it.
Cooking all the way through, I split them in half so the raw part was down so they could fully cook.
Now let's meet our judges. Isaac Jeffrey, you were a former student of this class.
Yes, I was, and I'm currently a chef at Element 112 right now, and that's what I'm doing.
And we have our LISD principal, Shelly Jusick.
Hi, welcome everyone. I'm so glad to be here today.
Carson Muslov, another former student, is our third judge.
I was in the program as well. Now I'm working at Tecumseh Brewing Company.
What are they looking for right now?
I would say right now they're probably just looking for boiling water, trying to get everything started right now.
I think we're missing some things on the table. It looks like Corey right out of the gate is looking for something in her basket. And I think it sounds simple. I think it's just the can opener.
My first initial thought was I need to downsize the size of these bratwursts to make sure they're cooked efficiently and also so I can portion them out well.
Nick's starting out getting his hot plate going.
Yeah, I would have got right to the flame right away.
We all have ramen, so let's see if they can come up with something fun with a little bit of ramen.
Then I plated my ramen, laid my bratwurst over top of it, put chili on the side, and garnished it with arugula.
I don't want him to cop out and just have it on a bed of arugula, right?
But the arugula will bring the freshness to all of that.
To keep the freshness of the arugula, I wanted to add some sweet. So I got a balsamic vinegar, used honey and brown sugar to sweeten it up a bit. Got my vinaigrette done, kept making sure that my broths were cooking, and then halfway through I added chili and roasted tomatoes. Got that heat going. I also added some cayenne and paprika.
Can openers and pots. Next I made the chili and I cooked sun-dried tomatoes into that and put arugula in it and I seasoned it and made that and then put it on top.
Chefs, 10 minutes.
What was going through my head was just, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna get this done.
Go for a mouthful, go for the fun.
Come on, go for cake!
Cakes are for everyone. Just one stack is what it takes. And it's go for cakes. Open wide, stuff your face. There's always room for more gopher cakes. Empty the box, then reload. Eat those gopher cakes till you explode.
Exercised lately?
Till you explode.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play or even what you wear. You just need to be there. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
What was going through my head was just, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna get this done.
What was going through my head, what I was feeling was just to stay calm and take a risk. If you gotta check something multiple times and cook it over, go ahead. Just make sure you plate what is done and give it your full mindset.
The entire time thought I need efficient cooking, everything needs to be temped well, and I need to get as much flavor in there as I possibly can.
What do you need? Chef Groff, we needed attention here. Corey's got a problem with her hot plate. Her plug came out, and he is in there trying to help her solve this problem. So the plugs came out of the wall. Except that's the same thing that happened to her last year. So Chef says, turn around, let's go for the burner. Good call, all right.
Very common situation where as soon as you need to do something, of course it malfunctions. So You just got to think on your feet.
Corey, I've watched her. She was bringing Southern flair. Well, I don't know if you really want to call it flair, because it got her nowhere, but out the first round.
5 minutes on the clock, chefs. Tyler's whizzing around the corner here, racing around his station.
I was freaking out, and then I like cut my finger.
Carson, what are you looking for when these plates come to you?
I'm looking for all the ingredients, but I'm also looking for something that's going to surprise me when I see it.
I cooked my sausage in cooking wine to enhance flavor, because I've done it with bacon before, and it made it the best thing I've ever ate in my entire life.
Just 2 minutes to go.
Biggest threat so far after seeing their plates is Nick Coates. He has a positive attitude, which is really nice to see from a fellow chef, and his plating, it was so colorful. Like I was, the second I saw how much color he had, I was shaking in my boots.
Make sure you have all of your ingredients, chefs. 30 seconds.
At the end, I was kind of struggling to get everything on the plate as time was running out. 30 seconds left. I still have a whole plate to fix up, so I was kind of rushing, so it kind of looked messy. So it's kind of up in the air if I'm out or not.
It's really a race to the finish. They're kind of doing an inventory.
I just plated it all up, and I used the arugula as a garnish.
It wasn't tough to incorporate, but it was tough to use was your brats, because getting it cooked all the way. You had to get it cooked all the way in order to have it in the dish.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
My mind was racing, and I was just trying to get it done. I didn't think I was gonna get it done.
2, 1. Hands up, chefs. Good job, everyone. Good job, everyone.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
You're doing great. We're gonna try this again, okay?
Okay.
Wheels, pedals, handlebar, brakes. Sit up straight, keep your weight in the center, keep your eyes on the road, hands on the grips, button the seat. If we feel ourselves falling, what do?
Just keep
pedaling. Good girl. Now remember, it's all about balance and steering. Steer with your hands, steer with your body. Steer into the corners and you stay out of trouble. And the bell's your buddy, so go ahead and ding that. All right, you ready? Here we go. Pedal, honey, pedal. There you go, you're a bike rider.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
The odds of becoming a successful NASCAR driver, 1 in 125 billion. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 68. I'm Jamie McMurray. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Chefs, you are now at the minced line. Your first round had to include brats, ramen noodles, chili without beans, arugula, and sun-dried tomatoes. Zach, tell us about your dish.
So I made a chili dog over ramen garnished with arugula.
Let's take a taste, chefs. Tell me a little bit about what your troubles with this dish.
Getting the inside of your bratwurst cooked thoroughly.
Chef Isaac, what did you think so far?
Pretty good. Brat's well cooked. Noodles are cooked well. I would like to see more incorporation of arugula. I only have 2 pieces on my plate.
Kelly.
I also think the meat is cooked well. With the chili on the side, that's good. At least it's not overpowering the whole dish. I would have liked also a little more freshness with this plate as well.
Chef Tyler, tell us about your appetizer.
So what I made was I did the ramen, and I infused the arugula into the chili and put it over the ramen. And then I cooked the sausage in cooking wine to enhance flavor. And the dish is made to all be eaten with one bite all together.
Shelly, what do you think?
I wish the meat was cooked a little bit more with the bratwurst. I do like to see that a little bit done, but I do like the infusion with the tomatoes as well. They've done a good job with that.
Carson, what do you think about your plate?
The pasta's a little overcooked. It's kind of mushy. Other than that, I think it's pretty good.
Isaac.
I would say a little too much of a char on your brat. Other than that, very good. I liked everything.
Chef Tyler, did you have any trouble with your dish?
My biggest trouble was when I was opening up the can, I sliced my finger open, so it set me back a little bit because I had to go get gloves on. And our first year, Nick burned his chicken first day pre-assessment. Corey can't even bake any desserts. They're terrible.
Chef Nick, tell us about your appetizer.
So what I made for you today is a cut bratwurst infused with chili and sun-dried tomatoes over top of ramen noodles.
The noodles are cooked well. I don't see a lot of chili or arugula on it. But other than that, it tastes really good.
It works all well, pretty good together. Tomato, I think that was a little unnecessary, but everything else pretty straightforward.
Shelly.
And I love the display here with the red tomatoes and the green sprinkled all over the plate. I think that really helped with the visual of the plate as well. So I think that was very good. Overall, the taste here is very good as well.
Chef Corey, tell us about your appetizer.
My appetizer was sort of like Tyler's, except I made it into more of a meatball with a more spicier, hotter chili. I utilized the roasted peppers and the beans while cooking the bratwurst. And to kind of contradict that flavor, I put in a sweet balsamic to go with the arugula and the pasta. My biggest struggle through it was incorporating the pasta, but I feel like the sweetness will counteract with the heat.
Chef Isaac, what do you think of the dish in front of you?
Works all very well together. Was there any chili in this? There was? Okay.
Where did you place the chili in that dish?
I put the chili, the roasted tomatoes, and seasoned with cayenne and paprika.
I would like to have a little bit more chili, not too much, but other than that, very good.
The dressing on top of this, it really gives it a lot of flavor. That vinegar, the acid with it is really good. And I like that you chopped the meat up smaller so that it was easier to eat as a hors.
I enjoyed it. One thing I would say is the arugula was a little overbearing. But other than that, everything worked well.
Do you have any struggles with your dish, Chef Corey?
The bratwurst was a little hard to get fully cooked, but the most difficult thing was the pasta.
One of the things the judges was saying right off the bat that the possibility of the ramen noodle might be the toughest part, and you mentioned that. Why was that so tough for you?
Because it fluctuates between like high quality food and then broke college kid. So I kind of had to, think what would I do if I was making it for myself. So I just tried my best and threw in what I liked.
Chefs, only 3 of you will move on to the entree round. Let's give the judges a minute to make their decisions.
I think they were good. Just one thing out of all of them was the raw meat. It shouldn't have been raw, it shouldn't have been pink. But otherwise, they were decently well plated and cooked okay. Ramen was good, it was just raw meat.
Biggest threat so far after seeing their plates is Nick Coates, I believe. After hearing what the judges had to say, they said it was a little messy. So I honestly, I'm afraid of Nick. I'm afraid he's gonna pull something out of somewhere, and who knows.
Right now, I'm feeling pretty confident. Right now, it's pretty much a tie between me, Zach, and Tyler. Biggest threat's Corey right now.
Welcome back, chefs. In the appetizer round, your dishes had to include brats, ramen noodles, chili without beans, arugula, and sun-dried tomatoes. Whose dish is under the mincing block? Chef Zach, you have been minced.
Zach, unfortunately we had to cut you because there was a lack of arugula. Your meat was slightly underdone, and it was just lacking overall body to it.
Overall, it was coming to this looking as it's going to be a physical and mental test. Well, it showed me just to add more and what to work on and how to go forward from here. I could have added more arugula to my plate. You got to realize it's just one time that you didn't make something. There's always going to be a next time. And don't let what a judge says hold you back.
Chefs, welcome back. We are on to the entree round with only 3 of you remaining. In your baskets, you will find chicken, Pringles, cranberry sauce, mac and cheese, and nacho cheese.
You don't really know what to do with Pringles in a dish of mac and cheese and chicken, so.
We've got 20 minutes on the clock. Chefs, ready, set, go. So what are you looking for, Chef?
Clean cuts on all of the meat. Again, well balanced of flavors on the plate. It's gonna be hard because there's so much cheese. Really working all those ingredients in.
The biggest threat's Corey.
The person who throws the biggest threat is gotta be Corey's.
I used the cranberry jelly and the cooking wine to sear my chicken.
I took the Pringles, put that as like a layer onto the chicken, and then started frying it up.
At first, I made the cheese sauce and put the macaroni into water so that it could cook all the way. And then I added some spices to the cheese sauce so it wasn't just plain nacho cheese because it just doesn't taste that good because it's just out of a can.
Mac and cheese and nacho cheese, and we have to be able to tell the difference between all of those. So, Shelly, what do you think about this dish?
It's very curious, all of these flavors combined, and again, it'll also be very curious to see what they pull from the pantry to complement those particular flavors.
At first I felt pretty worried because my chicken wasn't pan searing that well, and I was very worried that was just going to ruin it because it even started to burn a little bit. But I really knew that my flavor would bring it home.
Carson, what are they thinking about as they're running around right now?
Interesting. It looks like Tyler, as soon as he started, he ran right to the pantry. He's got some spices. It looks like he's almost doing a quick marinade on his chicken.
Some of these kids come in here with a little bit of experience. Some do not, right? You both have been in these classes, and Shelly, as the students come in the classroom, this is a very popular class, right?
Tell us about that. It's a very popular class. We have so many students that sign up that are on the waiting list. We just don't have enough facility here for the amount of students that want to do it. And I liken that to the fact that we have all these cooking shows on TV now, and all the students understand it. It's more than what you would learn in home ec. This is a real fun career, high energy, high adrenaline, and the students are attracted to that. So it is a great program.
As the two of you have been through it, do you think it prepared you well for that step out of the school and into a real job?
Yeah, definitely got my foot in the door on a real career, and then from that point, culinary school is the only option. So
this program made it so I could work in some of the places that I've been.
Then I started pan frying the chicken in cooking wine, and after I seasoned it in Worcestershire sauce and paprika and some other seasonings, and then I put it in the oven to finish it off after the skin was all caramelized.
Nick has disappeared. He's in the pantry. He's going for some things in the pantry. Let's see what he has back there.
Looks like he's getting some rosemary.
I felt really confident at first, but then my chicken wasn't cooking when it was on the pan, so I threw it in the conventional oven to hopefully try and cook it faster.
10 minutes! Chefs, 10 minutes on the clock. We are halfway through.
And I forgot the Pringles, so I put the Pringles into the cheese sauce to make it like grits, kind of. It was actually pretty good. And then I used that as a base on each plate.
Even though they have those particular ingredients in that basket, they could still pull together a vegetable on their plate, right?
I haven't really seen a good side vegetable for an entree, and other than the green pepper, I don't know how that's being used over there, but
in the pantry they have a wide array of vegetables.
They sure do.
I was happy to see that my mac and cheese was not nacho cheesy at all. I cannot stand nacho cheese. Tastes too producty, you know. So I tried to make it taste as flavorful and real as possible.
2 minutes. Do you have all the ingredients? Do you have a fresh element on your plate?
I took my cranberry sauce and I cooked it down with a little bit of water and some sugar into a pot, and then I filtered it, and then I put the sauce as a glaze on top.
I was more happy to see the collaboration between the people in the kitchen more than anything else.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands up. Good job, chef. Good job.
I feel like I came in second again. I feel like I was above Nick, but I feel like I was below Corey, so.
So far it's Tyler now. After Nick's little mishap with the jelly, I only can really see Tyler surviving to the last round.
Everywhere that we go, he makes people laugh and makes people smile, and I feel like I have that quality.
He's the one who always takes me fishing. I watch golf with him. And
I watch him cook because when I grow up, I want to be a cook too.
We have the same faces like this.
Dad is the one, when you fall, that picks you up.
That unconditional sense of presence and reassurance is really what makes him my father.
May I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
The inherent right to work is one of the elemental privileges of a free people. Endowed, as our nation is, with abundant physical resources, and inspired as it should be to make those resources and opportunities available for the enjoyment of all, we approach re-employment with the real hope of finding a better answer than we have now.
Donate to Goodwill, where your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire, but you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Chefs, you have made it to the entree round. You had to use chicken, Pringles, cranberry sauce, mac and cheese, and nacho cheese. And first off, we have Chef Tyler.
All right, so what I did is I made a cheese sauce at the bottom, and I put the Pringles in it because nacho cheese sauce is already salty, so I figured I'd mix them so that I don't make another element too salty. Then I cooked the chicken. I seasoned it with some paprika and some other seasonings, and Worcestershire sauce. Can't really say that word.
What do you think was the toughest part of this dish for you?
Honestly, this dish wasn't that tough, but the macaroni part of it, because you look at it and there's not that many noodles, and and I wanted to portion it out, so I decided to make the sauce like overcome the noodles.
Chef Isaac.
Overall the dish, the idea, it worked pretty well. Chicken's a little bit under, but other than that, good flavor on the chicken, good seasoning.
Ms. Juzik.
Well, I think the nacho cheese is a little overpowering on this, but the chicken, I think the chicken's done very well, and I would have liked to have seen something more with the cranberry sauce, but I liked it. It's very good.
Carson.
I thought it was good. Where are the Pringles?
Pringles are in with the sauce, with cheese sauce. I mixed the noodles, the Pringles in, so it has a little, it looked kind of like grits when I made it, like a grits texture.
All right, it's good, other than I would have liked to see the Pringle more pronounced, something crunchy with that, but very good.
Chef Nick, tell us about your dish.
So for you guys, I made chicken seasoned with salt and pepper. Also, I mixed in some grilled green peppers along with it, and added some Pringles as a little bit of a crunch. As well, I made mac and cheese out to the side with a side of cranberry sauce.
Chef Nick, tell me a little bit about the difficulty of this dish. Well, one thing that all three of you had trouble with this round, again, can opener. So tell me, did you have any issues with that this year?
I'm not Tyler, so I don't have any issues with can opening. So,
all right.
It was opening, that's what I did first, was open the can, so make sure I had everything, I could get it out easier. I think the most difficult part was probably getting the chicken to cook thoroughly and trying to get everything done within the time limit.
How did you cook your chicken?
I pan fried it at first, and then found out that it wasn't cooking all the way through fast enough. So I went ahead and threw it in the conventional oven, and it got up to temperature really quick.
Okay. Mrs. Jusick.
I have a lot of crunchy burnt pieces on the outside, but the inside, the chicken is good and tender, and I appreciate that. And I like the element of the green pepper in with the cheese. I really like green pepper and cheese together. I would say I'm a little disappointed with the cranberry slices. I would like to see that you had made something else from them, but very good presentation and color on the plate. I appreciated that.
Carson.
My chicken is very undercooked on the inside, and I would have liked to see something more out of this plate other than just 2 discs of cranberry jam on it. The chicken tasted good. Yeah, so good job.
Isaac.
It's all pretty good. It's just a lot of like raw and unmanipulated ingredients. I would like to see more cooking, less cutting and putting on the plate, but very good overall.
Our last chef on the line for the entree round, Chef Corey.
My initial approach was going to be a pan-seared cranberry and like lemon zested chicken to get that fruity flavor along with the chicken. However, the bone-in thigh was a lot more difficult than I thought. And the nacho cheese I found to be a little bit too much, so I softened it up with some other cheeses. So got a fruity chicken and 3 cheese macaroni.
Okay, Pringles, where are they in your dish?
They are on top of the macaroni as a crunch factor. I wanted to bake it, but I didn't have enough time.
Okay. And you have a little bit of the cranberry dolloped on the side, it looks like, as well?
Yes, because as I cooked the chicken, I didn't see it incorporate as much because it was jellied. So I put it on top so you could really capture that flavor with each bite.
Carson.
I like that the chicken's very aromatic. I saw that you were adding rosemary and thyme to it in the pan. The mac and cheese is good. A little cold, but still good. Yeah, good job.
Isaac.
Overall good flavor. There's a lot of good caramelization on the chicken. Mac and cheese is good. Noodles are actually cooked perfect. I would say the raw time was unnecessary. That's the one thing. I would have cooked it in, fried it off real quick. Other than that, really good.
Thank you. And I really like the complexity of the macaroni and cheese with the different flavors and not just the regular nacho, so it wasn't overpowering at all with a little bit of crunch from your potato chips as well. Have you considered taking the skin off the chicken too? A lot of us want to pull that skin right off, which had a lot of the flavor that I didn't get then down in the chicken because of the time that we had to cook it. Again, I would also have liked to have seen another vegetable on the plate as well. But otherwise, very good.
That was a tough entree round, but chefs, now we're going to give the judges a few minutes to figure out who was left, going down from 3 down to 2.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Psst, they're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Chefs, you are back from the entree round, a very tough round. And we now know who will be minced. Chef Nick, you have been minced.
Just putting something on the plate raw or just sliced as you did with the cranberry sauce. Just for us, we wanted to see a little bit more manipulation with the ingredients, so that's the reason we're mincing you.
Thank you. I appreciate all your feedback, and I'm just great to have at least made it this far. And just next time, hopefully I'll do better. I definitely learned to make sure and keep track of my time. I kind of found myself rushing at the end to try and get everything on a plate. I think that's kind of why my chicken was not done all the way. It will never stop me cooking. Like I said, I'm disappointed, but I'm not going to beat myself up about it. A loss is a loss. I'll have plenty of other chances to make another win.
Our final round, the dessert round. Chef Corey, Chef Tyler, lots of sweets in the basket. Ready-made biscuits, vanilla cookies, peanut butter cups, raisins, and fruit snacks. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, go!
I used the biscuits as a crust, and I made a cream cheese confectioner sugar type filling.
Right away, we see Corey putting the fruit snacks in a pot with some water.
Melt them down, do something with them.
Jelly glaze of some sort. I like to see more baking in this round than
right.
The skillet work.
So 20 minutes in the round, what can they get done in 20 minutes? How much can they bake?
Probably like a light cake or like a crust for a pie or something. Like vanilla wafers can be used for a lot.
So what I did was I took Reese's cups, which we had to utilize, and I wrapped them in biscuit batter, and then I cooked that up in the oven.
He told me between rounds he has no experience baking, so we'll see.
Oh,
get some more savory stuff.
Should be interesting.
Into the pantry, they both go at the same time. Corey is heading for dairy, and we have the strawberries. Tyler's taking the strawberries.
Oh, you better not take all of those, boy.
Here we go.
Gonna grab a few. Small bowl.
I'm seeing 2 strawberry shortcakes in the future.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna take the shortcake route, but once I saw what Tyler was doing, I went around that. So I just made a Reese's crumble over top with like a pie crust topping and strawberries.
We're at 15 minutes. That's the halfway mark, chefs. Carson, what would you be doing with this basket?
I'd probably use the muffin or the biscuit as like a crust almost, and make like a mini chocolate filled like chocolate custard pie with the vanilla cookie crushed up around on top.
This part was getting the biscuits to cook because it takes a long time, and by the time I was done I only had like 10 minutes.
Well, he kind of looked like he wanted it in a big ball too, so he might have been. Yeah, he's gonna fill it with that.
His fruit snack.
So he has chocolate in the middle, the biscuit, and now he's pouring the sauce on the top.
5 minutes to go, and that clock has no mercy.
I had trouble with the fruit snacks. It was very hard to melt them down into a sauce-like consistency, and when they were moving too slow, I put them on the back burner so they get hot. And they got hot too fast, and they melted a little bit. So they're kind of like, it's more of a caramelized drizzle now.
Are there other things they could have done, Isaac, with that biscuit other than just bake it? Could they have rolled it out? Could they have made it some kind of a...
I would have tried to do more of like a tart. There's so much that you can do with biscuits, and there's so many videos out there instructing you on what to do with them.
30 seconds.
Make sure you have all the elements.
Carson, what are you hoping to see when you see this plate?
I'm just gonna be surprised. I don't really have any expectations for this round.
10, 9, 8.
I cut up some strawberries and just worked on decorating the plate, put lime glaze all over it.
2, 1. Chefs, hands up. Nice job, nice job.
I'm pretty confident. It's not exactly how I wanted it to look, but it looks delicious, so.
Chefs, in the dessert round, you had to use ready-made biscuits, vanilla cookies, peanut butter cups, sun-made raisins, and fruit snacks. Chef Tyler, tell us about your dessert.
All right, so what I did is I took the biscuits at first, and I rolled peanut butter cups inside of them so that it melts when I baked them. And then I put holes in the top of them, and what I did was I made a sauce using the raisins, using the fruit snacks and some water, and I cooked them down, and I put some lemon in it, and then poured it down the middle, and then I put lemon zest over the top and to decorate the plate, and then strawberries on top.
What was the toughest part about this dish for you?
Toughest part was getting the biscuit to cook correctly because I didn't know if it was going to misform or whatnot. So getting them all to look the same.
Chef Isaac.
There's a lot going on here, sorry. I really like the fruit snack glaze. Your biscuit is like really, really under, but it actually all works together really surprisingly. It's nice and fresh.
Mrs. Jusick.
I think the lemon zest really helps that too. And when the plate was presented to me, I could smell the fruity snack and the lemon coming together, so it had good aromatics to it.
Carson.
I'm not seeing any raisins on this.
I also cooked the raisins in with the glaze.
Okay.
To add more flavor. And also I threw in strawberries in there. I tried to get it as flavorful as possible with this. Be crazy.
Other than that, good job.
Chef Corey, your dessert is in front of the judges. Tell us about it.
I took a new route around the whole strawberry shortcake. I know normally they have the wafer crust, but I like that crunch on top, so I made the biscuit, cream cheese, confectioner's filling. I got some minced up chocolate on there, and I served it with the strawberries. Also, I was having a fruit snack glaze as well. I also incorporated the raisins into that, and then drizzled it across the top.
It seemed like you had a little bit of a trouble back on the back burner with your fruit snacks.
Yeah, I let it slip my mind on the induction burner. It was going too slow for me, and it went way too fast for me on the stovetop, so.
Mrs. Jusick, what did you think?
Well, certainly you can see all the elements and taste them individually, and I really like that. And the cream cheese frosting is wonderful with that as well. So I think this was very well put together, and my biscuit was done, and I think it was very good.
I would have liked the frosting to be a little sweeter for your dessert, but other than that, good job.
Thank you.
The fruit snacks, I feel like there's like a lot of that flavor. I got a lot of that, but other than that, really good.
The judges have tried your desserts, chef. Now give them a moment so they can see who will be our minced champion.
I feel good because I've never made dessert without instructions before, so I think it was a success towards that, but it's 50-50.
I'd say it was neck and neck until they cut open his biscuit and saw it was undone. At that moment, and I knew mine were done because I made sure of it, at that moment I knew that he had dropped in the polls a little bit because you can't have anything undercooked.
Hi, I'm Mike Rowe. 14 years ago, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, this year she celebrated her 50th wedding anniversary.
Is that why you've taken off your jeans?
No, I've taken off my jeans to prove the link between jeans and the fight against breast cancer.
Oh, that's interesting. Do I have to take off my jeans?
No, nobody has to take off their jeans, Mom, but everybody has to go to denimday.com right now. I'll explain everything, dress code optional.
Apparently. 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer. Learn more at denimday.com.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, I love you. La 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 la, la 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 la.
We're here.
Yay!
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. Now she's holding on for dear life.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Appetizer, entree, and now we are here at the dessert line. Which one of these two chefs will be minced? Chef Tyler, you have been minced.
Tyler, you did really well today. Your appetizer was good. It was a little undercooked. Your entree was plated beautifully. Your dessert, it tasted good. You had all of the right ingredients, just not enough time. So we had to overall give Corey the victory in this today.
Thank you. I appreciate the chance to make it so far today. I honestly did way better than I expected to do, so I'm just going to come back next year and win it.
Second time around for you, Chef Corey. Last year you didn't make it out of the first round. This year, the champion.
Great on your appetizer. It was a good start, and it showed us from the very beginning that you were on your way to win.
I feel great. I'm very happy. I honestly doubted myself, but I pulled through, and it's just refreshing, you know, because I lost pretty badly last year, but this year, no, I can't believe it. It's kind of contradicting because, you know, the whole girls belong in the kitchen. Well, I run the kitchen.